I discovered the spiritual path in my early 20s. I was doing drugs, which was probably the introduction for lots of us. And then I met Ram Dass, who lives on Maui, as you know, and his message was that the idea is to get to the same place without drugs. So I dove headlong into meditation and yoga and prayer, and I started feeling good and lightening up, and the cloud of marijuana that was around my head disappeared. And I met another spiritual master named Hilda Charlton, who was a New York teacher who gave me a great foundation. And you know, it just, I've had a lot of grace. One thing leads to the next. Many teachers, many masters, A Course in Miracles. And I keep lightening up and freeing up. I have my ups and downs, of course, but I really feel like my soul has a destiny, that there was some course that I chose that runs deeper than my conscious mind can design. And even though I think I'm in control, on a very small level I am, there's this force of grace that has blessed me for my entire life. And the more I open to that, the better I feel. When I was about 14 years old, I met a young dynamic rabbi who had a relationship with God. And he was the first person I ever met who had a heart connection to higher power. And I was just kind of mucking around as a teenager, and he gave me a value system. He became my big brother, and so I dove headlong into Orthodox Judaism for 7 years, which was very intense. My mother said I was 60 before I was 18. But then when I was 21, I remember it was a fast day, and I was very hungry, and I didn't know why I was fasting. It was like the only reason I could figure was that I'd go to hell if I didn't. And in that moment, I decided that fear was not a good enough reason to do a religion or any spiritual practice. And if I couldn't do it without fear, I didn't want to do it. So I ate a piece of cake, and that was the end of Judaism for me. The next month, I was on a plane to Europe and gallivanting around. But you know, we all have our turning points, don't we? Where it's like a watershed, when you realize that the old thing just isn't doing it for you anymore. And if you're honest about it, then you can lovingly release it, respect it, honor it, appreciate it, and then move on to the next thing. Someone said that God is a flower that grew a nose to smell itself. And so consciousness is the piece of God in each of us that came into form to discover itself, to discover God, to discover higher powers. So every human being, and one could say all sentient beings, are points of consciousness through which God comes into form to know itself. We're God that has stepped into form to play a game, to have an adventure, to discover itself. We're the light, we're the love, we're essence, we're source. We are rays of the sun, and every ray has all the attributes of the sun. It's light, it's warmth, it travels at a certain speed. And so we're not separate from God, we're extensions of God in form. It seems to me that a lot of the contrast on the planet is amped up now. Like the light is getting lighter, the dark is getting darker, the beauty is getting more beautiful, the weird is getting weirder. And I think it's all lessons. This is it, this is not it. I want this, I don't want this. Let me choose this, let me not choose that. And I think a lot of us have signed up for a really powerful course in awakening, and we see something horrible. At best, it serves to awaken to what we would choose instead. So it's all part of it. There's nothing that's outside the plan of awakening. It's all a piece of it.